Hey guys, we've gotten the question a lot, what is your favorite ride? And so today I wanted to go through my top 10 favorite rides of 2019. And these might not be new rides, these are just rides that I enjoyed in 2019. So let's jump right into it. So number 10 is actually up in Dollywood and it's called Mystery Mine. And the whole reason that I really enjoyed this ride was because it was so compact and the ride vehicles were small and the track was super long. And it had this fun storyline where you like went into a mine and there was a little canary animatronic and they used to use canaries to see if there was any sort of like poisonous gas in the mine. And the canary fell off his perch, the little animatronic. And that's when we went through like over the drop hill and there was pyrotechnics and everything in there. And now, unfortunately, we weren't allowed to bring the camera on the ride in Dollywood. But we did get some pretty good shots of it from the outside, which I'm sure you guys are seeing right now. So I just got off of Mystery Mine. Wow. That's all that I can say about that. There was kind of a lot of like side-to-side motion with my head, but there's pyrotechnics, there's projections.
What?
There was like straight up lift hills, straight down drops.
I didn't know, you didn't say any of that.
Man, it was awesome. We had an excellent time at Dollywood and they have a lot of really great rides. There's actually a few more items on this list from Dollywood, so stay tuned for those. Speaking of Dollywood, number 9 is another item from Dollywood and that is Fire Chaser Express. This ride was so fun. It was an easy roller coaster to ride. There was pyrotechnics, there was a storyline. The theming of the queue was amazing and very thorough and like thought out. So you knew when you were going into the ride that you were becoming a volunteer firefighter and like you're joining the force and then things go awry. Another interesting thing about this particular attraction is it launches out of the station and then returns back to the station in reverse. So the train comes to a spot inside the station at a dead end in the track. So you start in the station and then you come back into the station. And then I always thought that it was very interesting because there's like a switch track that happens right there at the beginning. You launch out, go through the whole track, and then you end up in a pyrotechnic spot where there's a large explosion of fireworks and you go backwards from there and then you end up backwards back in the station. Just makes it a really interesting roller coaster to ride and super fun. Holy cow, that was so much fun.
It looked really fun.
There was fire again?
I know, I saw it. I was literally like, there's so much fire.
Yeah. And like it was super long.
It did seem long.
Yeah. And we were going backwards. And it starts in the station and then you back into the station. There's no track behind the station.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it's not like it pulls through the station. It just like shoots out and then comes back in. So number 8. I hope, Jen, are you like doing like number 8, 8, 8, 8? Or no, you're not. You're not doing that.
I don't think so.
Okay, so number 8. Number 8 is one of my all-time favorite rides, and that's just Mako. Like I said, not all of these are new rides. It's just Mako is such a fantastic roller coaster. It's got this gigantic lift hill, tons upon tons of airtime, and it's just a super smooth roller coaster. Also, there's never really a long wait to get on Mako, and I'm not sure why. Either it's just like always running good, or people are scared of how tall it is. I don't know. It's a super fun roller coaster, and if you are scared of riding Mako, I think you should ride it anyways, because it is very fun, and I don't know, I wish everybody would ride it. So there's actually a ride that's very similar to Mako up in Kings Island called Diamondback. Made by the same manufacturers, has a lot of the same elements. The only difference is Diamondback has a water brake similar to SheiKra over at Tampa Bay's Busch Gardens. But other than that, it's basically the same roller coaster. I think Diamondback might be a little bit taller. Same restraints and everything. That's another thing about Mako is the restraints are just a lap bar. There are no inversions though. So you don't have to worry about like ever falling out of it, and they're designed correctly so that you're never going to like shoot out of the roller coaster, but it sort of feels like you're going to, because there's very little in between you and the world, and that makes it very fun. Number 7. So number 7 isn't technically it is a ride, but it's the electric go-karts, and we went to 2 different electric go-kart tracks. I don't know if they both happened last year. One might have happened the year before, but very fun and very fast. If you guys have never driven an electric go-kart, it's a totally different experience to driving a gas-powered go-kart. Gas-powered has a little bit of a lag when you're taking off. Electric's just like pure torque, bam! You're going, speeds up very fast. And these were also 2 very fast go-karts. One was 35 miles an hour and one was 45 miles an hour. So just imagine yourself in this little tiny go-kart close to the ground, going 45 miles an hour, cutting around turns, racing people. Super fun. As a matter of fact, I kind of want to go back and do it right now. Maybe we'll do that coming up in January here, because I don't know, I had a blast riding those go-karts. Number 6 is actually an older attraction, not necessarily super old, but a little bit older. That is Krakatau over at Volcano Bay. The water roller coaster is unlike any other thing that I've ever experienced at a water park in my life. And it's super fun because it uses electromagnets to propel it upwards. So you do go up and down hills. So it has like lifts where you're going down a hill and then you go up a taller hill. And it's using like electromagnetic propulsion to propel your boat to the top of the hill. So you get a lot of speed going up and you get a lot of speed going down. A little bit of airtime here and there, some turns. Super fun. All while on a water slide. Some of my favorite elements of Krakatau are the airtime. Get a lot of little whoop-de-doos at the top of the hills, a little bit of airtime. Also, you get to like view almost the entire backside of the park, and you get like a nice little winding view through the mountain, through the volcano. And it's just like a fantastic ride. I don't even know how else to describe it other than it's great. You guys should go and ride it. Super fun. Number 5 is a little bit unconventional because it's the Skyliner. I really enjoyed riding on the Skyliner a lot more than I thought I would. I thought it was going to be kind of like boring and not fun and like, I'll never ride on the Skyliner, I'll never use that, I'll just like drive the car or take a bus. Not only was it fast and efficient, it was fun, it had a nice breeze in it, you got great views, you could see all 4 Disney parks from up there, you get to see like all these different resorts, Caribbean Beach, Riviera, you can go to Pop Century and Art of Animation, and then you can go over to Epcot and Disney's Hollywood Studios. Like, it's a great way to get between all of those different places. So take, for instance, if you're at Disney's Hollywood Studios and you're like, you know what I want to do? Let's go have dinner over at Primo Piatti at Riviera. And you're like, all right, hop on the Skyliner. Boom, you're there in like 10 minutes. Didn't have to wait for a bus. Barely had to wait in line because it's constantly moving, so the line moves fast. It's just a fantastic mode of transportation, and it's great. I think everybody should use the Skyliner. Well, maybe not everybody should use it because that would make it go slower. But, you know, you guys should definitely give it a try. If you're scared of the Skyliner, don't be scared. It's great. It's a fantastic form of transportation. Number 4! Tygris over at Busch Gardens. Fantastic new roller coaster. Fully closed loop. So you start out in the station, shoots forward, and then you go as far as you can go, and you're like going up a hill, and then you go backwards, and it shoots back through the station backwards. You go up a hill, and then it comes back through, and it shoots through the station forward, and that's when you continue up, and you go through a barrel roll, super slow, and then you go into a loop, and then you go down the actual rest of the roller coaster, and that's it. It's very short, super fast, and super fun. Also kind of like, you feel like you're in a little bit of danger, as like you should, like with a roller coaster. You kind of want to feel like the excitement of like, oh, what happened? Like, how is this? What's going to happen? Because you go upside down in that barrel roll so slow, you feel like, oh no, what's going to happen? It's just exciting. And you always make it through because that's the way they engineered it. But I would ride that over and over and over again. It is very easy to ride. That's one of the things that I look for in the roller coasters that I like is ease of riding. So like, could you ride it 6 times in a row? I know there are some fun roller coasters like Hulk. I couldn't ride Hulk 6 times in a row. It just shakes you too much. Although it is super fun 1 or 2 times. But Tygris, I could ride that 100 times in a day. Super easy to ride, very fast and very fun. I kind of want to go ride it right now. These videos make me want to go and ride my favorite rides again, and I haven't been out to Tygris in a while, so we might be heading back out there very soon. Number 3 is another one from Dollywood, and this is actually the most intense roller coaster I've ever been on in my life, and that is Lightning Rod. It is a wooden, like, hybrid coaster, so I believe it has a metal track, but wooden framing, and it's a launched coaster. This darn roller coaster has a launch that goes up a hill, and that's not even the fastest part of the roller coaster. You feel like you're shooting up, and you're like, oh, well, this isn't so bad, it's not so fast, and then you go down the hill on the other side of that launch, and you're going even faster, and then it just keeps going faster and faster and faster, and you're like jamming around corners and going like sideways and going up and down hills, and just like even the footage that Dollywood provided to us, you can see how much this roller coaster is like so intense because it's shaking so much, and like you're going around. And I think I may have actually broken a rib on this roller coaster because the very last brake run I had my hands up and I was in the back row, and then it hit the hard brakes, and I flew forward and jammed my rib into the restraint. Fairly certain that I broke a rib. That's what makes a good roller coaster, though. Broken ribs. If you guys are scared to ride this one, you probably should be, because it'll hurt you. But it's very fun. So now that we're up to the last two, I think that it's probably pretty obvious what these last two are. So number 2 is Hagrids. Hagrids Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. Fantastic ride. Super smooth. Very rewritable. Great storyline. I think that's going to be like the thing now is storyline roller coasters, or very intricately storied roller coasters. So like I said earlier with Fire Chaser Express, there is a storyline, but with Hagrids, the storyline has animatronics and dialogue and a pre-show and all kinds of other different elements to it. And also that roller coaster has a bunch of different roller coaster elements to it. Launches, switch tracks, drops, and the animatronics. It's like an entire experience in an extremely smooth roller coaster, all on like a motorbike. Like the train looks like motorbikes with a sidecar. Best spot to ride. Front row, motorcycle side. You feel like you're on a motorcycle zooming through the woods. It's fantastic. Different roller coasters have different spots. Hagrid's, front row motorcycle. The best. Dun, 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 dun! Number 1! Rise of the Resistance. Holy cow, that ride. Amazing. From start to finish, 3 different ride systems. You get out of a ride vehicle, you go into a queue, there's interacting with live actors. There's apparently now stormtroopers in the ride that I haven't seen yet. They're like live stormtroopers walking around inside of there, as well as the 50 animatronic stormtroopers that are there, and a lot of other animatronics throughout the rest of the ride. Animatronic BB-8s, animatronic R5 units, animatronic Kylo Rens. This is like so much stuff going on. You really feel like you're in the middle of a Star Wars. I don't know what more you could ask for in a ride. The immersion level of this ride is so intense because you really feel like you are part of the storyline. From start to finish, you walk in, you get briefed by BB-8 and Rey and Poe and Finn and everybody. And then you get on the ride vehicle and you're, being immersed in being attacked and being captured, and then you end up on a Star Destroyer, and then you go into a cell. It's just like amazing. Amazing storyline and immersion in this one ride. It's no wonder that so many people are having such a hard time getting on this ride, and it has such a high demand because it is the most amazing ride I've ever seen, the most amazing ride system, and the most thematically intense ride I've ever seen. I don't think anything's going to top it for years to come, but I am excited to see what the theme parks around Orlando are going to try to do to top Rise of the Resistance. It was just fantastic. So there you have it. Those were my top 10 rides for 2019. Like I said, not all of them were new. Some of them were. Some of them were new to me. Some of them are my old all-time favorites. All of them are fantastic rides. These were just the rides that I was excited to ride in 2019. Not saying they're the best rides ever or that they're not my favorite rides ever. These were just the ones that I was very excited to ride in 2019. I don't know. What do you guys think? What did you think of my list of top 10? What is your list of top 10? Is there something that I missed? Is there a new ride that I missed? Is there something that you think I should go and ride that you're like, oh, that's way better than Tygris, or way better than the Skyliner, or way better than Rise? I'd like to hear what your better than Rise is, because I want to ride that. So, all in all, fantastic 2019, fantastic set of rides. It's great living in Orlando. I'm going to say fantastic 16 more times. And with that being said, we are off, and we will see you guys fantastic. And now it's time to fantastic the price.